Why do you love hip hop so much, bro?
It set my soul free. It allowed me to manifest the world and have fun doing that. You know, 77, 78, I started writing. I started trying to make a demo around 82. The only other two things I was almost as passionate about was football and karate.
Right.
When I played football, I was very committed. I was so committed that if my uniform was dirty, I would wash it and wear it to the game wet.
Damn.
One of the main reasons why I decided to make another record is just to show people that that's not the case.
How did you find Def Jam?
Come on, when I walked in the house and my grandmother said, some slick Jim Rubin called, I'm like, yo, I went crazy. Call back, yo, Rick, you get the tape? Yep. Can you be here tomorrow? Such and such. I'll be there. Give me the address. Boop, boop, boop. Come on, baby.
Do you remember how you got down there?
Float.
Yeah.
Float.
Yeah.
But I took the subway. They call me Big Ellie. A bit silly, Big Ellie. A bit silly. Big money. Big really. When I'm sliding into Martin, Aston Martin. When I'm sliding into Martin, they hear me.
You've been known, LL, for beefs. I could go through, no order. Kumo D, Ice-T, Cannabis, shit, Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, Mike is my man. I was the first person with the Jordans on the radio album cover. Michael Jordan was a rookie when I had his sneakers on. Everybody was wearing Adidas and Pumas, bro. I put the Jordans on. Probably one of my favorites would be Doing It. And then I like Murdergram because I just think, and it's not because it's new, because I'm able to, but me and M, I just like that song. I think that song is crazy. Mind in the sky, but keep a street level view. Inspiration for the future dreams you will pursue. If I made it off the streets of Queens, so can you.
Big Boy, off air, LL.
What up, baby?
Hey, man. First off, man, and we've had many sit downs.
Yeah.
But this is a sit down where when we do off airs, bro, this is like a conversation.
Okay.
That I really love to enjoy with. There's only certain people I like to sit down and do an off air with. And you know me for decades, bro.
No doubt.
But I've been a fan for decades. I mean, I've purchased albums. My first concert tickets was going to go see LL in concert. Anyone that know, if somebody say, oh man, what's your top 5? I don't even play top 5 games.
My man.
But if I were, bro, you would definitely always be in my top 5.
Thank you, man.
And I appreciate you sitting down with us today, bro. This is a good one for me.
No doubt.
You know what I'm
Happy
saying?
to be here, bro.
Man, had you always been, and you've been a part of our lives for so long when it comes to how, as E40 would say, you're a veteran and relevant at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of us grew up with you.
Yeah.
Were you always into hip hop? Because when we celebrate 50 years of hip hop, I mean, radio is what, 40 years old now?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we got way more years in on hip hop.
So, when hip hop first started in the New York area around that time, I became a fan of it right away. Mm-hmm. So at 8, 9 years old, I was exposed to the early tapes, to the Cold Crush and to, Flash and the Furious 4, and then the Furious 5, and, Zulu Nation and Bambaataa and all of these different tape Force MCs out of Staten Island. So I was a fan of hip hop at 8. So I was really, from a generational standpoint, I was a fan of the first generation. So I was in it from day one as a fan. Around, I started writing probably, I don't know, maybe 76, 75, 76, something like that. Let me see, 68, 9, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's fan 76. So like 78, 77, 78, I started writing. And then I started trying to make a demo around 82.
What were you writing at that age?
Yeah. All kinds of shit, man. You get off the wall and you bust your balls and you skibbity-dop-de-doo. Like
so better than a lot of stuff we hear now.
Yeah, all that.
But what's crazy about that, man? When I first fell in love with hip-hop, right, and I'm pretty sure with you as well, you had music in your household.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there was always music in our house. If it was Gladys Knight and the Pips, it was the Jackson, Motown sound, whatever it was, gospel, my mom always had music in the house.
Yeah.
But hip-hop was mine.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
It was this thing where I was like, okay, I love everything, but this right here,
Yeah. Y'all don't know nothing about this.
this is mine.
100%. And I
Yeah.
was me being a fan, like I just started writing, and it was the first time that I heard, young black boys and young black women sound powerful and sound empowered, and sound like they were in control of their lives, And as an 8-year-old, you know what I'm saying, like 9-year-old, 10-year-old, it was the biggest. They were like superheroes to me.
Did you know, LL, that you wanted to do it? Because you could be a fan of it. It can be a hobby, but
Yeah.
and we didn't have back then. We had some,
Yeah.
but we didn't have a lot to compare it to or say that could be me.
Yeah.
We had hip hop heroes,
Right.
but we didn't have like Hell of a Neighbors or the Homie Already Got On, and
No. Yeah, it was none of that.
Yeah.
So what happened was I became a fan, and then around 14, I decided to try to make demos, So, there was a corner I turned. I was in junior high, and, I had been rapping for a while, but just to myself and for my friends. And then I saw this guy walking down the hallway one time, and he was singing this thing, this DJ gets down mixing records as they go around. And I was like seeing him, and it was like a dimly lit hall, and it was just him, and it was like I was hypnotized and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just staring at that shit. Because it was just him walking, and he was like, he had this little walk, and it was like a fucking, it was bugged out. Like I was sitting there like,
Do you know who that was?
I have no idea.
But you remember that moment.
Because he wasn't a rap, he was just singing like a Jimmy Spice or a routine.
Yeah, man.
But it made me like say, I want to do that.
That's
at
just
a
a one
high
of
level.
a kind. I'm super rhymes.
Yeah,
Yeah. This
yeah.
DJ, he gets down
Yeah.
mixing records while they
That
go
was the
around.
decision to want to make records.
Wow.
That was the decision to make, not the decision to get into hip hop. I was already into it for years, but that was when I made the decision. I want to do that. Like I want to make records.
And how old are you at that time? Because you say you're on a high school
Probably
campus.
about 13, 14, 13.
And
like
you
that.
knew then.
Yeah.
Had you ever thought, L, of anything else that you were as passionate about than this thing called hip hop?
The only other two things I was almost as passionate about was football and karate.
Right.
That was it. You know what I'm saying? And because everybody, in Queens and Long Island, football is like I was good at football.
And you took martial arts?
And I took martial
Did you have
arts.
anybody on the block? You know how we all have a Kung Fu Earl and a Kung Fu Michael.
I was Kung Fu Earl. We had in our neighborhood. The well-known dude was Mataka Bear. He was like, his name was Mataka Bear, for real. You know what I'm saying? I only knew him from a distance. It was like, Mataka Bear's coming. It was like, he was like the martial arts hero of the neighborhood. Whoop everybody.
Did he teach the kids too?
Yes.
Did he wear karate shoes?
He would have his military gear on with his
man.
kufi, but he knew karate. He was
Hey,
like,
I think we
Mataka
all
Bear,
had,
man.
we had one.
Yeah,
we
Mataka Bear.
had one,
No
bro.
doubt.
So you
People
knew.
are laughing right now in this interview because that Queens know Mataka Bear. They're gonna be.
Oh, they're gonna be like, he brought up Mataka.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, yeah. No
Hey
doubt.
man, but when you go from what you love to actually saying this is what I want to do we're not even probably thinking for life. We just know what we want to do.
Yeah.
We can look in the rearview mirror right now, L, and say, oh yeah, man, that was genius. But when you look through the windshield, you don't know how long.
So, really what it all boils down to, man, is following your bliss, man. It really boils down to.
And you knew that early.
I just followed it.
Right.
I didn't know where it would lead. I didn't know that it was, be history being made. I just followed my bliss. I just followed the thing that most moved me. Like when I played football, I was very committed. I was so committed that if my uniform was dirty, I would wash it and wear it to the game wet.
Damn.
Because I didn't have time to dry it, but I wanted it clean.
Had you
I'm that
always
guy.
been? Yeah, I'm about to say, had you always been that guy?
Yes.
So you that type of guy?
I'm that dude. Yes, I am that type of guy. I'm that dude, bro. So like with this, it was like I'm obsessive, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm very, 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 very aggressive when it comes to going after what I want.
Had you always been? Are you a perfectionist?
No, I think that gets in the way. Because I think you can get paralysis by analysis by trying to be perfect. What I look for is perfect imperfection.
Gotcha.
Which means that when it feels right, it's done.
Is it hard for you to know when the album is done?
No.
You know how to let it go?
Yeah, because
Gotcha.
my gut tells me. My gut, it's like, it's like sticking your fork in the brownies, B. You know,
Right, right.
when you pull that joint up, you're like, yep,
It's ready.
time to eat.
Ding. Hey, man, so we all know the story about, the $2,000 worth of equipment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But take us through when your grandfather
Yeah, my grandfather.
knew, because that's an investment.
Yeah.
And $2,000 back in the 80s, I don't know what $2,000 is today.
Well, so let me put it in perspective. First of all,
Please
my
do.
grandfather's from Barbados.
Okay.
Okay, so, he's West Indian, he's Caribbean. He was cheap as like, it was like he had the money in a headlock, bro.
Right.
Okay? So, like, I don't want anybody to get the impression that because he came up with that 2 G's, he had money like that.
Gotcha.
He didn't. My grandmother, what really happened was I got hit on a mini bike. I was begging them for a motorcycle. And they had been saving up for this motorcycle for damn near a year, maybe more. But more importantly, when I got hit on it, my grandmother was so worried about me being outside on the motorcycles, because I like the mini bikes, I like motocross, I like the motor, that was like
Right, that
another
adrenaline
thing,
too,
a little
right?
bit of a daredevil, right? So she wanted me, so she basically had him empty out everything to keep me in the house.
Right.
So that's really what it was. So it wasn't like, he had all the money. It was just, he came up with it. He emptied out his account because his wife said, you're going to keep my grandson in the house so he don't kill himself.
Did he know he was investing in a dream, or he was just thinking,
No, they knew it
keep
was
him
one
in
of
the
my
house?
dreams. No, they were, I think it was more about keep him in the house.
Right.
There was a little dream, because my grandfather was a musician. So I grew up surrounded by like jazz records, and he was a jazz musician. He played tenor sax. So I heard a lot of music in the house. Aside from just the normal radio stuff, I was exposed to like much older music, big band music, Basie and Tommy Dorsey and the Dorsey brothers and Glenn Miller and you know what I mean, like so it was like all of that. So they kept me in the house, and I took them joints, and that equipment. I started off as a DJ. I was still rapping and rhyming, but I started off as a DJ, but I didn't really like my voice, you know what I'm saying?
Were you going outside the house DJing?
No, I was just DJing around the house and for the family. So if they have a little family function, get Todd to,
Right.
Todd to do he'll
What
DJ
was
the
the
barbecue.
equipment? Was it two
It was
turntables?
Yes, but it was Toshiba's because
Right.
he couldn't afford the techniques.
Yep.
So we were sweating the
Yeah.
technique.
Yeah.
Okay, so
do sweat the technique.
definitely. So I had 2 Toshiba's. I wanted a crossfade. I had a turn
Right,
fade,
yeah.
which was the knob, which was bananas,
Yeah.
like trying to figure it out. So an up fade, but a turn. So I was like dealing with that. But man, it was an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
You know?
You knew something was different. You knew that this was a calling for you as well, though.
Yeah, because it's like the world disappeared, big boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's like the world disappeared when I put that record on. Like,
Yeah,
it's
man.
like everybody turned invisible. It was like, it was like being shot out of a cannon into the galaxy.
Bro,
You know what I'm saying?
I loved it. I loved my turntables, bro. I loved searching for records. I would sit in my room, L, and I would just try to get these scratch patterns until my arms hurt.
100%.
I woke up with it, I fell asleep with it, and I searched for it.
100%.
And I loved searching for it, bro. I would buy
Without a
stuff,
doubt.
yeah. And I would buy stuff just by the title. And it wasn't like you walked into a
definitely.
store and it was, we had a bin, we had a section, you know what I'm saying? And I would go in there, bro, and I would go crazy.
100%.
Yeah.
And to go even deeper, I only got enough for one song anyway, so I'm trying to pick and choose, and you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to pick and choose the vibes, but I just fell in love with everything about hip hop, you know what I'm saying? And you got to follow your bliss, man.
Hey,
You know
man,
what I mean?
did you ever think when you're sitting at the house, and take us from sitting at the house DJing, you got the equipment, when do we start to get where you plug a microphone in and you
So-
tap into that? Were you ever writing poetry, or you knew you was writing raps?
No, I knew I was writing raps. My grandfather recorded me the first time when I was about 8 years old, because he had reel-to-reels. So he would have me talking over the little music and, saying little stuff, and I sound like Mickey Mouse on the tapes, and I'm like, it's like Michael Jackson on
Yeah.
helium, like the early
Yeah.
Michael Jackson on helium. So, he would record me and my cousin. And then you fast forward, man, like I started making demos and I didn't like my voice. I made this joint, New York City Rock. I'm like, oh, I don't like the way my voice sounds. And I started like messing with it more and more and more. Then I started joining rap groups and starting rap groups. And, you know, I mean, the only reason I'm solo today is because the guys that I was in rap groups with didn't believe me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's hard to tell people, get up, let's go, or had the same drive with you.
Forget about
You
it.
know, yeah.
Forget about it.
Can you imagine if you had an and to this day, where it was like LL Cool J and, or you know, or it was a group? Yeah, because
yeah, that would have been pretty disheartening.
Yeah, man. Because I remember just even the early days of the introductions of the Cut Creators and the E-Loves and even the evolution. And we had this conversation when we saw E-Love and it was that big ass radio.
Yeah.
Then it would have went down to, you know, a little CD player. You know what I'm saying?
USB drive.
Yeah, a little jump drive.
Standing there with a USB drive like
You know what I'm saying? And now it's just a phone. You know what I'm saying? You're just streaming like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but the evolution, bro. It's been an evolution of hip hop, and I think an evolution that you've been through every. You know, I see E-Love all the time. You're like, come on, big. You know?
Yeah.
But it's an evolution that you have been able to get through, because hip hop has been, you know, especially it's one of the things, man. We here today, we gone tonight, and especially hip hop has been the most fickle genre of music. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean. So, one of the main reasons why I decided to make another record is just to show people that that's not the case. What I wanted to show people was that you can make great music at any point in your career. It is doable. And I wanted to show people that for all generations. So that, I mean, I have little kids now, their introduction to LL Cool J is Murdergram.
Right, that's true.
Like, that's the first time they heard of me.
That's true, bro.
Like, so, but I wanted to show people that that's possible. You know, see, I've been saying this and I'll say it to you too. Artists can be rappers, but not all rappers are artists. And when I say artist, I'm not talking about somebody who signed a deal. I'm talking about art. Picasso was an artist. Bob Marley was an artist. Miles Davis was an artist. I'm not talking about a person with a deal.
Right.
And so I wanted to show people that we can continue to do this. Our culture is not disposable. Yes, there will be some who use it as a stepping stone. Yeah, there may be some who, you know, they put words together that rhyme, but they're not necessarily MCs or artists. They just, anybody can put words together that rhyme. But can you paint on silence, right? Can you take it to the next level? Can you do it, you know, for 40 years?
Right.
Can you drop something 40 years later and impact the culture, you know, with your vocal?
Speaking of force, bro, I saw something where it said you had to learn or you had to teach yourself how to rap again.
100%.
Explain that.
So, you know, the easiest way to say it is like, it's like people always say, you never forget how to ride a bike. That's true, but maybe you didn't know how to pop wheelies.
Right.
Maybe you didn't know how to jump up on a mailbox like, you know, some of the extreme sports guys.
And even get back on the bike, you wiggling.
Yeah, just a little bit. You know what I mean? So, so it's like, that was the thing for me. It's like, plus, I don't take generational differences for granted. I don't know everything, bro. I don't claim to be the be-all, end-all of expertise when it comes to what we do. What I do know is that you must continue to learn in any field. And state of the art is not only a technological thing, it's an intellectual thing as well. You know what I'm saying? What's the state of the art in your mind? You know what I'm saying? Are you all the way, because the only way to be ahead of the curve is to be up to date first. I can't innovate if I don't even know the state of the art.
Gotcha.
You know, I'll be giving you a brand new 1989 Caddy, brand new, right off the showroom, perfect, perfect, just recently manufactured. That joint at 89 though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to like, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Nasty. Yeah. Nasty shit. You know what I'm saying? And this is what dudes do. Like they go and they make a brand new, fresh, spanking 1999 hip hop album. Shit is hot in 1999.
Hell yeah.
perfect
Yeah.
for 1999.
Right.
Because they didn't pay attention, because they weren't
Oh
humble
my
enough
God,
to
bro.
admit that the game has changed. That, oh yeah, you don't like this and you don't like that, but guess what? The flows have changed.
Right.
And guess what? The cadences have changed. And, Tim Hardaway Jr.'s crossover was amazing. Kyrie's is another thing, though. So you got to understand both. Now, when you understand both, now we can start innovation.
But you never got too far away from hip hop.
No, never.
Yeah.
And it ain't even too far away. I've never
Right.
got away from it, period.
Yeah.
No matter what I do, I love it.
And the reason why I say that is because you've always been tapped in. But when you tap in and then you say, I want to do it again, or not even again, but was there, were you in your own way at any point? Yeah.
You can be. You can be in your own way because you think you know everything. Mm-hmm. And
it's proven too.
Well, I'll tell you what, you know how you get in your own way? By thinking because you're from somewhere, you automatically understand it. Just because
Gotcha.
you from a neighborhood, you ain't been there 99 years. You've been in SUVs and eating, tossed salad on fancy little forks that's too small for your big ass hands,
Right.
and doing all that shit. And you think because you from there, you understand there.
Right.
That's a disconnect. That's you know what it's like? You ever be in a house and you can't find your keys and they right in front of you? Mm-hmm. People do that in their careers. They can't find, they don't even, they looking, the shit is staring them right in the face, but they don't see it. Because they just so caught up in the moment. Because they caught a check, or because somebody called them the GOAT when they went outside. It's like, no, bro. Like, you gotta pay attention. You gotta care. You know what I'm saying? Like, vulnerability is a big part of this, but you gotta be self-aware. You gotta be self-aware, man.
Did you always know that, or you had to learn that?
No, you learn it. You learn. You live and you learn. You know what I'm saying? You take a look at what happens, what you do, the moves you make, and then you incorporate the learnings.
When you call yourself LL Cool J, when you hear the name now, it's genius. Did it feel genius when you first went from J Ski to LL Cool J?
No, it felt like I got a whole bunch of fucking rhymes I got to rewrite because I done changed my goddamn name. And J Ski and Cool J, I just had a lot of work to do.
And there's a lot of words with ski. You know what I'm saying? You
This
got
is true.
B, we,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's more about like the commitment. Because when I say that to you, I'm talking about suitcases of rhymes. I'm not talking about, a notebook. I'm talking about going back.
What made you think ladies love Cool James?
Because I had all them friends who, different dudes that call themselves lover this, playboy that, this one that, and I just wanted to be, we like the chicks, you know what I'm saying? We want them, ladies love Cool James, man. You got to speak it, man. Like, it's what I wanted it to be. That's what I wanted it to be. Now, was it that? It's up for debate.
No, it was that.
No. Later, but I'm talking about when
right.
you,
Oh, yeah.
when
So
you
how old are you when you say I'm LL Cool J? I'm ladies love Cool James. So my introduction to you was LL Cool J.
Yeah, I probably was like 15.
What the fuck 16. Does a 15-year-old know about ladies love Cool James?
Well, I knew I loved the ladies.
Yeah,
so, that's what a 15-year-old knew. I'm speaking for me.
Right.
I knew I wanted to hit something.
Right. But it's genius.
That.
It's genius. Now, did anybody have any resistance when you said, man, did you run it past people? No. Or you just came out the house?
I always, I just made it that. This is what it is. And then Rick Rubin said, it was a little long for the label,
That's what I'm thinking.
LL? I'm like, yeah, I'm LL, but, ladies are like, well, let's LL.
At this moment, you're already next to Rick Rubin.
No, not yet.
Okay.
No.
But he just saw the name later on.
Yeah, ultimately, he said that. But, I was just running around, writing rhymes, rapping at block parties, rhyming at, house parties, going through the circuit, going to different neighborhoods, being in groups, Extravagant 3, the Romantic Choice Brothers,
right.
Me and Playboy Mikey D, like just getting with different groups, and I'd be over in Herbie Lovebug's basement before he made records, before he produced, and me and Cool G Rap would be uptown rocking with Silver Fox, and I would be with all these different artists that now, you know what I'm saying?
Did you know that you were doing either tuition into the School of Experience, or when people say, oh, the 10,000 hours, did you know you were doing that, and you just knew that you were doing what you love?
Nah, I was just, you know what I was just completely and totally immersed in the shit that turned me on the most, man. There's something about rocking that mic and writing them rhymes and not feeling invisible. You know, we grow up in neighborhoods where, you know, you feel invisible. The only people that get any press are people that get arrested or people who get killed.
Gotcha.
If the ones who get killed, that's debatable. You know what I'm saying? But it's like so for me it was like, yo, I felt powerful. You go home, step pops kicking your ass. It's miserable a little bit, so you like you find a way to channel that and pour that into something that means something to you. And when you see these artists and when you hear these records and when you hear these booming voices and these magical like the Fearless Four, it's magic. You know what I'm saying? It's magic, but not apparent to eyes. Like all of these songs, it just made me feel like anything was possible.
Did it take you away from a lot too?
100%.
Yeah, bro.
100%. It was like, it was escape. You know what I'm saying? And like,
Same.
man, like, the one thing that I think, the idea of just constantly being in your imagination, man, that's just something you never want to lose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the one thing that I can honestly say to people that I still maintain. You know what I'm saying? Like the part of me that's a kid when it comes to my imagination. That's why by the grace of God, I can still make records and make music and all that. Cause I don't take none of this shit that serious, man. Because at the end of the day, I'm only doing it because it's fun.
Right, you've got you.
And I was only doing it then because it was fun.
And then whatever comes with.
Great. But it's all fun. And at the end of the day, that's why I'm doing it, to have fun. Because, we're on this planet, you're here to maximize your potential. You are the hero. It is your movie, it's your journey. You're the hero of your life. You're the main character. So have fun with it. Because everything else is a bunch of man-made metrics that are external. This person says you got this many points on the board. This person says this. But once you can get something to eat and you got some heat or some AC and you got food and you can you have your personal needs taken care of and your health, have fun. That's it.
How did you find Def Jam?
So it was Def Jam Productions.
Right.
They Rick Rubin had a song called "It's Yours" by Tila Rock.
It was on the.
It was on a label. It was on a label. Party Time. Streetwise was the label. Def Jam Productions was the logo. So I could have called Streetwise Party Time or I could have called Def Jam Productions. Luckily, I called the number. Rick had set it up so it was Def Jam Productions. So I called Def Jam Productions, sent the demo in, and they ended up starting Def Jam and putting my first single out, and then subsequently my first album out. That's why I need to be this DJ 001. You know what I'm saying? Because It's Yours was production. It was a production company.
Hey man, so had we heard of, besides Tila Rock, had we heard of Def Jam as a label before LL?
No, I was the first artist on the label. There's no doubt about it. I mean, if you want to say me and Tila Rock, you can give us co-duties if you want.
Right.
But that was a production company.
Because my introduction to Def Jam with the tone arm and everything was
me.
LL Cool J.
Yeah. I was the first artist on the label, the first album on the label. You know what I'm saying? It was Rick, Russell, and me.
What made you, because I'm pretty sure whatever you could find at that time as a label, did you call or mail or go to any
1,000 different labels. They all turned me down. 1,000 different labels turned me down. Labels that took hip-hop, dance labels. I sent demos to all type of places. Everybody who was handling hip-hop or something close to hip-hop at that time, I sent them a demo. They all ignored me. Ad Rock from the Beastie Boys heard my demo, and boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a movie. It's movie shit.
Did you want to be with Def Jam, or did you think
there was no Def Jam to be with.
Did you want to be with Rick Rubin?
No, I just wanted to be on. I just wanted to be on.
Yeah.
I just want to be on. If the goddamn New York Giants started a label that day, I'd have had the fucking helmet on with the microphone like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
fucking playing center for the beat. Like,
It's the sport of kings.
Yeah, it's better than diamond rings.
Yeah.
Football.
You
You know
know
what I'm saying? It did make a difference,
Oh
bro.
my God, bro.
Yeah.
And so you get something where y'all building a legacy together.
Yeah, and you don't know it.
Exactly.
You don't know it.
Yeah,
You have no idea. Look, man. Yo. Man, it's inconceivable.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You couldn't have written this. You can't write this. Like if you would have said, man, oh yeah, you know, it's this kid, he walks in, he does this, he does all these accolades, and then he brings out an album. We'd be like, man, that movie sound fake.
Nah, yeah, it do.
Yeah, you know what I'm
That
saying?
shit crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, it's crazy, man. I mean, like, dude, I'm saying, bro, like, I don't know how this shit happens, man. All I can tell you is that following your bliss and going after your dreams, you gotta have the courage to do that.
Hey man, I remember Crush Groove when you came in the office on Crush Groove.
Yeah,
right?
I wasn't even scheduled to be in a movie then. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even.
You were like,
that's because
fuck
I was
this.
going
You were like,
down
they
there every
shooting
day.
what?
Word.
Yeah.
My man Cornell was like, get down to that set. I was like, absolutely. I went down to the set. I'm an extra. I'm
Yeah,
moving
man.
crates.
I see you with the dolly.
Goddamn
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yo, hungry. That's how I move. I talked them into giving me that part.
So when you walk in and you do the audition, that wasn't in the script. That was just you being there and they're like, ah.
Exactly. They said, give him a shot, because I overslept on my video. I was supposed to shoot a video for Ray. My first album didn't have no videos, because I overslept on the joint.
And what was the first video supposed to be? Was it radio?
Radio, yeah. But instead, I ended up getting the movie
And put
as my
radio
video.
in that, and that's
Little
how
snippet.
we saw.
My left stroke just went
Viral.
viral.
Yeah, you was gone.
That was viral, B.
Bro, so when you watched that, when did you know I'm on?
When Rick Rubin called me back.
You knew.
Come on, when I walked in the house and my grandmother said, some slick dick Jim Rubin called, I'm like, yo, I went crazy. Call back, yo, Rick, you get the tape? Yep. Can you be here tomorrow? Such and such. I'll be there. Give me the address. Boop, boop, boop. Come on, baby.
Do you remember how you got down there?
Floating.
Yeah.
Floating. But I took the subway.
Yeah. So
Just took the bus to the train.
this is a hungry kids, and
damn right.
they called me back.
Doing handstands
It's
on the subway, I
crazy
was so happy.
how
Literally doing handstands on the subway.
knowing and not knowing.
No, literally doing handstands on the subway because I was so happy to be going down there. Literally, like on the subway doing handstands, happy as a fuck.
Are you by
with
yourself?
people looking at me? Yeah. My man, I tried to get a couple of people to come with me. They ain't believe me.
So what do you do when you go down to see Rick Rubin?
Went down. There's 5 university places. The NYU dormitory. I go down there. Hit the buzzer. Weinstein Hall, I think it is. Hit the buzzer. Rick comes down. He's like, all right, I'm on my way down. He comes down. I'm like, you Rick? He's like, yeah. I'm like,
Because you hadn't seen him.
No, I said, I thought you was black. He said, cool.
Right.
We go upstairs. Go upstairs, and I walk in there. He's got his man George there, and I think Ad Rock is there, and you know, all the records is on the floor. I sit in the Basquiat Energy. Went up to the kicking in the dough. I walk inside. There's records on the floor and all that, and like, so we get on there. The drum machine. We make this song immediately called "Catch This Break." We made another demo, not the I Need a Beat demo I had. We made this thing called Catch This Break, literally. Looking for a jam that'll make you shake by this record and catch this break. Right, so we make that. We go play that for Russell. Russell's like, same old thing. Sounds like this one, that one, this one. Okay, so me and Rick, we go back in the studio. We make I Need a Beat. We take my original demo, the title I Need a Beat. We make an actual song. Ad Rock programs the beat up. Then Rick produces
And that's
it
Ad
up.
Rock for those that don't know.
For the Beastie Boys. He makes the drum pattern. Rick produces it all the way up. You know, we do what we got to do. Go back to Russell, and they like, yo, we got to start our own label. Because they couldn't get their money from the Party Time Streetwise label. So they decided to do an independent label. So Def Jam becomes an independent thing as opposed to a production company. It's now switched to a label. I Need a Beat My Song is the first song. And then we put that out. That does good regionally. Then we do another one, I Want You and Dangerous. We do Dangerous and I Want You. Dangerous.
Dangerous is that he circumcised DJs when he's
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
airways to the complete. He's a musical. The
Yeah.
words in that.
Yeah.
And how old are you when you do Dangerous?
Probably 16, something like that, 16, 17.
Do you remember the words from that?
His realm is a new horizon of cuts. Yeah, no, I don't remember that shit.
But I'm talking about the mythological.
Oh, yeah.
Not photography. I'm like, what?
Yeah, created Philly
Field
Fields
biography.
biography.
Yeah. And then that man, when I would hear he circumcised DJs when he's on the airwaves till the mission complete, you're a musical slave. In his division, he'll collision like a surgeon with a scalpel to make an incision. Now me, I annihilate, exile, and communicate. I'm like, listen to these fucking words.
Slow down the rap,
But not the subject matter. All you sucker DJs will scatter. Cut creator will employ techniques that will exhort. Oh my God. Hey man, you see I was on it, bro.
Yeah, that was a joint.
My vocal cord strain. Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's
was
a
joint.
16-year-old.
Yeah.
Ready to
man.
take the world. And as we sit here today, bro, radio as an album is 40 years old
Yep.
and bangs
Yep.
to this day.
I'm thankful, man. What can you say? And you know what I love about this? It shows people what they can do, man. I love the fact that we can do this. Like, I love the fact, like, the album just dropped. It was the #1 current rap album, #1 in the UK, doing worldwide, viral. Like, I love all that because it just shows people what's possible. I love that, man. That's the thing that excites me the most about all of this.
You know what I love about Force too? Is we saw like you getting on stage. We saw the success of the tour. And it wasn't like you were saying, oh, I'm coming back. Because you never disappeared. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it, man, is that you came in at today's market price.
Oh, yeah.
Where I can listen to Force and I'm not like, oh, L, what you doing?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And plus, I always F with you on lyrics. And you could take us from, I can cut your head off with these lyrics.
Yeah.
And then I can also do it fluid and have you conceive your baby. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
There's that spread of how much you couldn't lock LL and still can't lock LL into a box. That's why you don't say, I don't introduce you as rapper LL Cool J. You can't say actor LL Cool J. You know what I'm saying? It's just
I'm an MC first. I'm a rapper first, and I'm an MC first. I love acting. That's one of the things I have the ability to do.
And you said that your entire career.
But I'm an MC first. I love hip hop first. The thing people just, the beauty of it is, when it comes to making hip hop songs, thankfully, I can do any kind of song. And that's just the truth. I can do, if it's Hey Lover and I Need Love or Some Mama to Knock You Out, if it's Rock the Bells, if it's the Murdergram with Eminem, if it's Proclivities with Sweetie, you can name any, whether it's Flavor in Your Ear remix, whether it's, I can do any kind of song, bro. That's really the thing that's different about, I think, me relative to a lot of guys, is that I can do all and sound different on the joints. And I'm not saying that to be cocky. I'm saying that because it's like that because I love it that much. And it's kind of like basketball. It's like being able to dribble with your left, dribble with your right, shoot from the outside, shoot from the inside, play defense, jump out the gym, shoot threes. You know what I'm saying? Crossovers behind, you name it, dunk, backward, reverse, anything. So if you were to equate it like the ball, it would be like that kind of a mindset. You know what I'm saying? And then now I get to do it in year 40 the way a LeBron does it in year 21. So I get to show the same way he gets out there and shows them how much of a king he is and how he's able to continue is the same way I could show people in music that we can keep and not be trying to shy away from the legacy age thing.
Right.
I'm not shying away from that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't running around with a Santa Claus beard, but I ain't
Right.
shying away from that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man, but
You know,
when
I don't quite understand the Santa Claus beard shit, but I ain't judging. You know what I mean?
well, you kind of were just now.
To each his own. You know what I mean? To each his own, bro.
Can you imagine? But you've had this look, bro, that you've always looked like LL.
I gotta be me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be me.
Yeah,
like they
man.
try to force me to, to grow a beard. You know, everybody was in their Middle Eastern mode when, certain things happened and they want to
Yeah,
grow their
man.
man. You're not peer pressuring me into that. If he only had a mustache and all that, go fuck yourself. I'm gonna wear my shit the way I wanna wear it. I don't care what you think.
Hey, man, what was the Kango to LL?
Everything,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Security blanket, superhero mode, made me feel like the coolest dude, all kinds of things. But mainly it was like Superman's cape.
Yeah, bro.
It wasn't kryptonite, but it was like the cape, you know? Superman with the S on the chest and just the underwear is not quite the same. Not quite the same. If
Right.
Superman was standing there in his underwear and boots with no cape,
Right,
it'd be
right,
like,
right.
who's that guy? What's he
Weirdo
up
off
to?
the street. Hell
Security.
yeah. Yeah. So
know?
you knew, but did you
Yeah.
ever trip off of how many LL lookalikes? You
All
know what
of
I'm saying?
those
Because even on the West Coast, bro,
Oh, yeah.
you had us rocking Kango hats.
I know, man. Listen, look, all of those things, there's so many trends, right? Like the Kangos, the pants
pants
legs,
up, Troop.
Troop. But then the jewelry, when I started wearing the ice and the jewelry, like Jam Master Jay and them went and got bigger chains because of me. And I say that with love, but it's true. I'm not, making that up. It's like, and that's my man. I love him. I respect him. He's a king.
Yes,
but I'm
sir.
just saying, like me putting the diamonds and the ice, introducing that. And then, the trend that was the craziest one was the acronym GOAT. Like coming up with the GOAT acronym and then the whole world like adopting that. It's been like,
Slow down. Because I was definitely gonna get there. Had we heard GOAT, greatest of all time.
you heard greatest of all times, without a doubt. Ali had been saying that for 1,000 years.
But had we heard
Not GOAT.
GOAT.
No. Because I took Ali saying greatest of all times and Earl the Man of GOAT, the street baller from Harlem, and smashed those two together and came up with the acronym GOAT. And then I named my album The GOAT in 2000.
Because I had never
Of course you have.
heard of
Nobody will
the
find
GOAT
it. No.
as an acronym broken down to the greatest of all time.
No.
And now we hear it
Everywhere.
everywhere.
And you know what? I think that's beautiful. I wish I trademarked that shit.
Man.
But it's all good. I mean,
Would you be sitting here if you trademarked it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I
Yes.
wouldn't.
There's no.
I'm gonna tell you straight up.
yeah,
You give me a trademark like that, man, I'm gone. No,
Yo,
shit.
Big, there's no amount of money
That
that
can-
you could give me to not do what I do. You can't pay me to not do this. I don't do it for that. You can't pay me to not make hip hop.
I kind of want to say something, but I don't want people in the comments because
Say it.
you could definitely pay me to get away from something.
No, I feel you. I feel you. Look. Could you give me $5 billion to take a vacation for 6 months?
Yeah,
Maybe.
bro, you know what I'm saying? I think about it.
But there is no scenario where I'm not gonna want to.
Yeah, same, bro.
Be involved with hip hop.
And my thing is, bro, if I let it go, this is what I've lived with my entire life. Hip hop to me, bro, was when I didn't have nothing, I had hip hop. When we were homeless, I had hip hop. When we were starving, I had hip hop. When I always had this corner. Even if we didn't have a big house, I had a corner that I can go to, and hip hop just took me totally away.
It's crazy because I feel like I had hip hop and hip hop had me. Like I feel like kind of like a dude told me a long time ago, hustler dude at the park. He said, he was like, won't support you. He said, I support you. And he was like, always remember when you come in the park, come like this, don't come like this. Right? So I always try to make a contribution to the culture, right? So I start Rock the Bells. That's why I do the things I do, right? Rock the Bells being a home for people that are timeless and new acts, but just making sure that these timeless acts are remembered and celebrated and given the props that they deserve. And it's like, Big, like, Like, this ain't about. It's not a means to an end for me. The journey, that idea that the journey is the destination, or the journey is the reward. Better said, the journey is the reward. For me, that's what this is. Like, I'm enjoying this.
When you speak about Rock the Bells Radio, right?
Well, it's also a company.
Yeah, okay, well, Rock the Bells, the company.
Yeah.
Why is it so important as opposed to I and me? Why is Rock the Bells us and we?
So us and we is important because, see, let's call it what it is. A lot of people like to complain about stuff and don't do nothing about it. A lot of people are like that. A lot of people are amazing at that. This is a problem and that's a problem. This is a problem and that's a problem.
Right.
This is a problem and that's, we ain't doing shit. Just cutting some fucking biting a sandwich. This is a problem and that's a problem. Me, my thing is, like, if I'm in the hood and I say, yo, down the block is a problem, like, I'm going to address the problem. I take action. So what was the problem? The problem was I felt like these artists that were so pivotal in the culture of American history and American music history and global music history were being treated like commodities. They were being treated like their only importance was their most recent chart position. But I didn't see that to be the case in any other genre. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go out of my way to lift these people up. I want Run DMC to be treated a certain way. Rakim needs to be treated a certain way. Big Daddy Kane needs to be treated a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, like even something as simple as the Murdergram Do, and I'm gonna get back to it, but even the Murdergram Do video, listen, me and M doing album covers and M doing Big Daddy Kane, that's not, like, that ain't like personally benefiting LL or personally benefiting M. That's about us lifting the culture up. Kane deserves that. He deserves to be treated that way. We got to treat each other that way. That good things will happen in his life because of that. So it's like, that's kind of the way I approach it. So when I started doing this Rock the Bells thing and I started seeing it, it's like, yo, we can lift these artists up.
Yeah, man.
We can throw festivals. We can throw cruises. We can have merch. We can have licensing. We can do all of these wonderful things for these artists instead of just talking about it. Instead of just running off with the jibs. Because a lot of people just like to flap their gums, but they don't want to make no moves.
Yeah, but we see you, bro, not as an artist, actor, host. You know what I'm saying? And most people say, "Oh, I'm fine." You know what I'm saying? I'm good.
Yeah, but you know that's a very like myopic way of kind of looking at the world, or it's lame.
Right, but it's harder to do what you're doing.
Yo,
but you got
everything. Yeah, but you know what? You gotta care, man. Yo, you gotta actually give a fuck. Like, it's nothing wrong with caring. It's okay to want to see other people succeed.
Yeah.
Like I like seeing other guys succeed. Like I like to, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you care, share, everything. You know what I mean?
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? What is the difference, bro?
Back to the GOAT.
Okay.
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you said that because we didn't question it. For one, we hadn't heard it.
Yeah.
And then you lived up to it.
Yeah.
And now everywhere you go, it was LL Cool J, the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
For 5 minutes.
But hip hop and that
4:59.
Yeah, but
4
now
minutes and 59 seconds.
Now it's who's the GOAT of basketball?
Oh, I know.
Who's the GOAT of such and such?
And I love it.
Right.
I love it. I love it. Look, it's all subjective. First of all, let's keep it real, right? Everybody got their own opinion about all these things anyway, especially in art. Even in sports, where you have metrics and numbers and data, it doesn't mean like a player can just impact your life a certain way.
Right.
So, he may score 999 million points. I still like him better.
Right.
I don't give a fuck.
That's my
man.
That's
You know
my
what I'm saying?
GOAT.
That's my dude. That's my GOAT. So this is how people, whether it's baseball, soccer, football, like hockey, you know, I don't care what Mario Lemieux, Gretzky.
Right.
Like it don't, you know, like it doesn't matter. Pele, you got people go back to Pele. You talking about Ronaldo and you talking about,
Right,
you know,
right.
Messi. Oh, Pele. You know, so it's really about just, you know what I'm saying?
LL,
Doing what we do.
Can you still hear the crowd? And what I asked that by when you get on stage, do you still have this thing where it's like,
Well, first of all, I'm wearing in-ears, but
right, yeah, I guess
so
you can't really.
not so much. But do I still hear the crowd? Absolutely. Let me tell you something, man. Nothing has changed for me in terms of my passion for this. I will walk in that room right now and say box with as much fury, if not more, than I did when I first did Crush Groove. That shit doesn't change. That's why I'm here. You know, like, you know, you got to really think about it. Like, I don't say it to be funny, man. Like, this is 40 years later. I got the #1 hip-hop album, current hip-hop album.
And you showed up, though.
Yeah,
You could have called.
But it's because I love it. It ain't about, forget the skill, forget the guy can write, no, whatever. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not even trying to impress nobody with skill. Let the records can deal with all that. People can compare the records and the skill sets and all. Okay, cool. Because you're going to have your favorite, whatever. I love it. I love it so much that I'm still doing it at a high level because I love it. And I'm passionate about it. That's what I'm trying to, because why is that important? Because kids can be passionate about other things. You may be passionate about books. You may be passionate about bikes. You may be passionate about mechanics, engineering, reading, I don't know, literacy, being a teacher, science, chemistry. You might be passionate about sports and sports medicine. You might be passionate about, you know, psychology, psychiatry. Like, what I'm saying is when you have that fury and that passion and you follow your bliss, you can make your dreams come true. That's what I'm trying to show people.
Do you ever trip off of your catalog? Like, do you ever listen back to something? And I'm not even talking about when you know you got to go perform. But do you ever think like, damn, I made this?
Some of it, and then some of it I'm sitting there like, damn, I wish I could rewrite this shit retroactively.
Right,
That's
right.
so fucking bad.
Are you hard on yourself?
The hardest.
Wow.
The worst. Yeah.
Is there a song that hit that you were like, I didn't know it was gonna hit like that?
Well, going back to Cali. That's why I said I don't think so. I didn't like the shit.
Explain going back to Cali.
I said I don't think so because I didn't like the
I'm
song.
going back
It wasn't
to
about Cali. It was about
Right.
I don't think so. I was just saying to Rick Rubin, like, I don't think so. He's like, oh, keep that.
Did they tell you we need to make this, not tell you, but suggest that we need to make this kind of record?
He wanted me to experiment. And
Like, we walk this way. They were like, yeah, you trying to
experiment.
You trying to end our careers.
Exactly. And, you know, but what it taught me was that you can't be afraid to do different things. And what it did, it ended up opening up a whole world of creativity for me where I can do any kind of song, where I can do anything I want to do.
Like,
now there's no
bust the box all the way up.
anything. That's why, look, if I didn't make Going Back to Cali, I could have never made Headsprung. Why? Because the lyrics to Headsprung are so silly and so elementary that I wouldn't have had the courage to do that, because my ego would have had me thinking that people are gonna think this is the best rhyme I can write on this song, instead of understanding that this is a feel that I'm going for. And it's not about me, a display of skill. So every time Jimi Hendrix plays a chord, he's not necessarily trying to show you how complex he can play. Sometimes it's just a cool chord. And like, so when I say Big Ellie, bit silly, big money, big really, it's silly, but it feels good. And so I'm doing it. So it's like Robert De Niro doing Analyze This. It's like I'm playing in a different space. And so, but you gotta have courage to do that, because the majority of MCs, the internet, and a lot of people, they think that every time you open your mouth, you're trying to show people how good of a rapper you are. And 90% of the time, I'm not doing that. That's what they don't understand.
Hey, man, on Headsprung, what are the first words you do say?
They call me Big Ellie. Bit, B-I-T, a bit silly. Silly, like a silly motherfucker. Big Ellie, a bit silly. Big money, big really, really. When I'm sliding into Martin, Aston Martin, when I'm sliding into Martin, they hear me. I be slicing with these bars so they feel me. Let me rip it up for cuz in the back. Let me dip it, put a buzz in your hat. I'm gonna show you how to cause an attack. Timberlake. So I was just being silly, right? It's just having fun.
Man, your so-called silly fun shit is
You know what I mean?
amazing.
Yo, but you know what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
Like that's the
So
thing.
you say if you didn't have a going back to Cali,
that never
that probably
happens.
would've-
Right, because my ego wouldn't allow me to do things that are gonna be judged by different See, we live in this world where, you know, especially in hip hop, in a lot of ways where like, if you're not rapping what's outside the project window, then you corny. Everything gets judged by like, are you rapping about what's outside the project window, and are you really focused on being a super rapper on this song? Because if not, but me, I don't base it on that. If I want to say I want a girl with extensions in her hair, I'm just gonna write that. Doesn't mean I can't write more. I could have, you know, I want a girl pearl with extensions, wrenches in her hair, there, with a Finnair, derriere hair. You know,
like I could have. You know
no,
what I'm saying?
I didn't want to write
Tattoo
that,
on
bro.
her back.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
you know what I mean?
Brother so crack.
Yeah, tattoo, rat to, got to, back to. You know, I didn't write that. I wrote. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So it's like, that's the art of it, though. Like, kind of like, you ever look at a Japanese garden?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see the tree, you see it's real simple, but there's beauty in the simplicity. Sometimes songs are like that. These dudes be overthinking it.
Right. But you know how, I think you have a great balance of when you know you want to overthink. And did you ever get any flack when we did get the Hey Lovers and those kind of songs, or was that just LL?
Well, it's not that
I don't remember.
I don't feel like I got any flack. The only thing I would say about those kinds of songs, and especially in hip hop, because we have it's a patriarchy in, you know, in hip hop. So it's very male leaning in terms of the critical judgment that comes out and the verdicts that are given on projects, right? So the only thing is that a lot of times people don't understand the degree of creativity required to make them kind of songs. But if they can make them, then, you know, everybody would be doing like oh, he just doing it for the ladies.
Yeah, I don't want no
that's
hit.
for the ladies.
Yeah, I
oh,
don't want no hit record.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's really easy. Yeah, super easy.
Right. If it was that easy, we all have them.
Oh, lounging, doing it around the way. Oh, it's easy. Go ahead, make you a couple.
Yeah.
Go make a couple, bro.
Hey, man.
Just make one.
Just the few that you just kind of just threw away right now.
I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, because the reason why I say that is only because it's kind of like, it's a different metaphor, but it's like basketball, right? Like when you see Steph, you know how you see a guy in the game, he ain't
Right.
the whole fucking game.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean he can't. He's just. So sometimes sometimes on these songs I'm doing this.
Right.
It ain't got nothing to do with the fact that I could bounce it off that backboard and yoke it on you. That's just not what I'm doing right now, bro. I'm shooting a jumper. I'm getting my Durant on. I just give you a jab step in that. That don't mean I ain't got nothing else in the repertoire. So it's kind of like that thing. That's why when people will say, oh, I didn't know he could still rap like that when they hear Murdergram bro.
Yeah. Hey, man, you have such a vast catalog, and I don't get into a lot of the top fives, and I'm pretty sure you've been asked this before. People ask you who's your top 5 MCs. Do you have, and I'm not even asking that, do you have your top 5 of LL Cool J songs?
Depends on my mood, man.
Boom.
Depends on who's in the passenger seat, man. You know what I'm saying?
Give me your 5 performance.
Depends on the country or the city.
Wow.
Because every state, city, country is going to respond different to different songs. You know what I'm saying?
Is there one you know you can't step off stage without doing?
No. I mean, most people would think Mama Said Knock Your Think, but not necessarily. Like, if I was going, I did a guest appearance with the Locks not long ago with Jada and, Styles and Chic. I did 4-3-2-1, bro. I did the verse for 4-3-2-1. So I didn't do Mama. I didn't do I Need Love.
Right. But you don't have a top 5?
I mean, probably one of my 2 favorite songs, one is old and one is new. probably one of my favorites would be Doing It. You know what I'm saying? Just because, like, it's just like the perfect freak record. I
Yeah,
just think
man.
it's fucking funny.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny. And then I like Murdergram because I just think, and it's not because it's new, because I'm able to, but me and M, like, I just like that song. I think that song is crazy. And then I like Mr. Goodball, you know what I'm saying? I like Ill Bomb.
Can I give you mine?
Yeah.
All right. Mine isn't like the ones where people be like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
I even
just
sat
joints.
down and I thought about it. Rock the Bells and Rock the Bells.
Okay.
And people think, oh, Rock the Bells is low hanging fruit. But both Rock the Bells,
Yeah.
it just puts me in, it's like a soundtrack
Yeah.
to my life. You know what I'm saying? I know exactly where I was at. I know exactly what the cuts feel like. I know I didn't have a car. Like, I know where I was
them
at
shits
and the
was-
passion
Yeah.
of what and Rock the Bells give me that same thing today. Like,
Yeah.
I'm getting chills. Like, I literally, with the BET year that you did the BET, and when you just did Force,
Yeah.
I watch you from the audience. Because even your live performance to this day, I'm like, bro, I gotta sit down.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired for you. So Rock the Bells, Rock the Bells.
Yeah.
I'm Bad not just as a song, but as a video.
I love that video.
With you jumping around to everything.
Lord have mercy.
And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
there's
Hat is
just
like
some
a shark
things. My hat is
spinning
like
and
a
shit.
shark. Yeah, and you were everywhere.
Motherfucker.
And that was hip hop to me.
Yeah.
To the Break of Dawn.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
Break of Dawn, that's what is a panther.
Yeah,
An
yeah.
animal that kills.
Yeah.
I'm like a shark with blood coming out. That just the
While
way
did you get a piece of this gangster lean straight from Queens?
Queens.
Strongest liquor to be seen in a limousine.
Now
Now
you're
you're getting
done
fucked with
without
no Vaseline.
And then when you get that, now you're getting done without Vaseline. And then you seen what Cube
I know.
did with No Vaseline.
Yeah, I know.
And people say No Vaseline is one of the biggest, greatest diss records.
I know.
And I knew when Cube did that, I was like, I know where that came
Oh,
from.
yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
that had a special place for me. Jingling Baby, for some reason, both versions. Because I fell in love. I fell in love with it, and then it was like, people know the remix. And they don't know about, and then, of course, we talking about Dangerous, but also, is it Jack the Ripper?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Joyce was right.
those right there, bro, those were just songs that, I have a homeboy that said when he heard you rap, it stopped him from rapping.
Wow. You know, it's so funny, man. I've heard stuff like that before.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I had experience like that. I remember the first time I heard MC Light on the radio, I had to turn that shit off. She was rapping, and I was like,
How you turn that shit off?
shit sound too good.
Yeah, that's when you look like
At that
anybody
time,
here.
I said, that shit sound too good. I
Do
had
you
to
remember
turn
what
that shit-
song it was? When you say
I
you
don't know
love
if it
me,
was.
it doesn't
it
matter.
might have been.
It goes
It was
into my
either.
head.
It might have been Light as a
chit-chatter.
Rock. I think it was Light as a Rock.
Yeah, man.
I'm like,
She
fuck, turn that shit
spazzed
off.
on that shit.
Yeah. I was like, yo.
It's Light as a Rock. Is
I
that
remember
when
being
you
in
say
the
you
gas
love
station.
me?
I was in
It
the
doesn't
gas station.
matter.
When you
It
say
goes
you-
into my head
it's
as
just
just
chit-chat.
chit-chat. You
Yo.
would think of...
And then take it very seriously. So, I remember being in the gas station like,
Right.
and just sitting there for a minute and then like turning it back up slowly.
Like, this shit still on?
Yo, that shit was sounding so good to me.
Oh my God, bro.
And I was like, and I'm gonna keep it real. And ladies, you know I love you so. But I'm like, if she's a girl, I'm like, this is a girl sounding this guy. I was like, damn.
She was, man,
Mean.
Light was a
Mean.
beast, bro.
Mean.
Yeah, man.
Mean, bro. Yo, I'm
But she
telling you.
also knew how to get into the Georgie Porgies after a
Oh,
while.
yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying?
Love
like,
it.
oh
I love
man,
it.
Light's a fucking beast. And that's another one, man, that we say, man, the things that you do with Rock the Bells as well. And Light, she ain't bullshitting.
Nah,
she on
she's
top
a-
of her shit too.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
100%.
saying?
Listen, I love to see all the artists get it in. You know what I'm saying? And I love to see Light and Latifah do their
Oh, my
thing.
God,
I love
man.
to see all of them rock. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it, man. Like, that's what it's about.
Hey man, in Rock the Bells, I remember when you said 6 G's for 20 minutes is the pay that I earned.
Yeah.
I was like, $6,000 for 20
But I got
minutes?
news for you, big boy. That just show you how long you ain't been in the hood. Offer somebody 6 G's for 20 minutes this week.
Hell
See
yeah.
that.
Where you need
I
me
got
at?
news for you.
Yeah.
$6,000 for 20 minutes is still a lot of money,
Yeah,
bro.
hell yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
20
I'm talking
minutes
about,
for $6,000?
man. But I remember when you said it, I was like,
That's $18,000 an hour, bro.
oh,
It's not
Yeah.
that bad.
hell nah.
It's $18,000 an hour.
But this is a damn near a kid.
You
And
damn
I'm
right.
sitting here, and we almost on the same calendars.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
far as birth.
Oh, no
I'm
doubt.
sitting here like, fuck am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I was looking
Yeah,
at
I
it.
needed all that cake, man. But,
Yeah, man.
But the cake was more about just like, I just wanted the money to just, to show off so girls could see me. I didn't really care about the money. I didn't buy my mother some stuff. I just wanted to be seen and had to get some checks and, have some money. But I just wanted to rap.
Another one for me, when you say rap too, man, is Get Down.
Oh, yeah.
When you say no Cinderella story, I
Yeah.
paid my dues. I
Yeah.
rocked the house parties. I was down with crews. Now
No
I'll
doubt.
never be caught. I'm on my P's and Q's and for the rest of your life. You
You
want to
need-
be in my shoes.
Yeah.
I'm strong like something hard like cement. And I rocked every jam that I ever went to. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah, Bobcat.
oh my God,
Yeah.
man. Those, and I remember, I was like, man, he'll never do Get Down live.
Oh, I do it. I do it.
I was there.
Like dropping them.
I
Breakthrough.
was there, bro.
Like the breakthrough, like I did that beat and the scratching and everything on that song. A lot of my songs I produced too. A lot of people don't know. Like a lot of the beats and a lot of my songs I made.
Hands-on or telling
no
the producer?
hands-on.
Oh, wow.
No hands on.
Do you still produce
Like
now?
I made like Eat 'em Up L. Like,
Yo, chill. Eat 'em up, L.
and then they got them to loop drums under. Yo, yeah, a lot of it. A lot of these joints I made. Yeah, oh yeah.
From the passion of what you
Oh yeah,
do.
even you said Jingle It Baby. Like I came up with that bass line. I looped that bass line up. Then Marley found it on the reel and incorporated it. I had already put that in there.
Man, there's such a vast catalog too, bro. That
It
when
is.
you go back through it, how do you pick what you want to perform?
Got to be inspired.
Right.
Because people don't come to the concerts just to hear the hits.
And that's what I noticed, man.
Yeah. I incorporate lots of joints. Like you might get like all kinds of deep cuts in my
That's what I heard when Get Down. I was in the
Yeah, bro.
was in the aisle, and people had to look like, man, what the fuck?
I mean, you
Big?
here, so you must be familiar with some of this shit.
Exactly.
I'm not going to assume you only know the top 20 radio hits. It's like, let's get into this. Let's do some music.
Hey, man,
know?
you've been known, LL, for beefs.
Yeah.
You're not known, but you've had some
I've had some
beefs.
accounts, some what do they call them, snafu, some
Yeah,
snuffles, whatever
yeah.
the word is,
So, and I mean, I could go through, no order. Kumo D, Ice-T, Cannabis, shit, Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, Mike is my man.
let me see. Yeah, pretty much, and maybe some I missed.
Yeah, but that's all just hip hop on the record, though.
Right.
It's not personal.
Like
Like I'm not, waiting outside their house with a bow and arrow and shit. Quickly, light it on fire.
Hey,
You know
man,
what I'm saying?
when
Like,
you go through
you know.
something with Kumo D early on,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? And that was like almost like a tennis match. But and people say, oh, it's good for the culture. And I remember now with Kendrick and Drake, it was like one song and end, and then 3 minutes later, the next diss record was out. we kind of had to, wait.
Yeah.
What did battles feel like for LL Cool J back in the day?
Well, I mean, with Mo, it's like, it's like having somebody's poster on your wall and then going to the game and having to play against them. Mm-hmm. And then going back home and their poster's still on the wall.
Because you rocked with Treacherous 3.
Love them.
Yeah.
Still love them. Love them even in the midst of that. But you got to get this work.
Right.
But I love you.
You a piece of shit. He said, you got to get this work.
You got to get this work done.
Hey, man,
You got to
and
get
when
this
we
work,
hear
but I
Get
do
Down-
but I still love them.
And we hear I'm treacherous in Get Down, I think. And then you say all the black kids are talking and spreading the news about the new Grandmaster, the one you choose. Mm-hmm. Mo D thought that was paraphrasing the diss to Grandmasters.
The fuck is he? Grandmaster Flash's bodyguard or some shit? The fuck he talking about?
Damn, you trying to start this back up? Like, Flash, Cash, like,
what's he, security? Mo D come walking in with the chains on and shit. I'm with
Damn.
Flash.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, come on. Nah, B. Nah, he bugging.
Right.
Yo, listen, I got love for those dudes. Let me tell you something. Grandmaster Flash, love him. You know, Mo, love him. These dudes, like, I just want him. You gotta give me some room. You know, some young boys need some room, man. Everybody ain't just there to pay homage. Some people want some room. I need some action, man.
Right.
I need some of this block, man. I love you, B. Big homie. I love you, man, but I'm gonna need some of this block, though.
Do you understand that to this day too?
Of course I do.
Right.
But they still got to back up off me though, because I need mines.
Right,
Like,
right.
You know.
Why do you
You
love,
got next.
Why do you love hip hop so much, bro?
Because it allowed me it set my soul free. It allowed me to create a world. It allowed me to manifest the world. You know what I'm saying? And have fun doing that. With no strings attached.
And I've asked this before, or I said the statement before, right? If we took Mama Said Knock You Out, if we took I'm Bad, Hey Lover, just think about your catalog. And we took the hosting, and we took away the movies and the TV show. If we took all that away, right? And if we got everything and we hit delete.
You let a lot of air out of hip hop's tires, B. It'd be tough. It's there's a movie, a very old movie, it's called It's a Wonderful Life.
Is that with Jimmy Stewart?
It's a Christmas movie, very old movie. And there's a part in there where he gets to see the world, what it would be like if he wasn't there. And everything's different. Like even something as simple as me making my radio so that Run and them would be inspired to make my Adidas. Something as simple as that. It ain't even that. It goes way, like, all of these little things. It's like, I can't take credit for everything, of course not, because hip-hop did so much for me. But what I can say is I made a reasonable contribution to the culture, a good, big contribution to the culture in a way that I think it's had a positive effect on the whole globe and on our culture in general. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the big jazz artists. It's like Charlie Parker. It's like Miles Davis. It's like, it's like Duke Ellington. It's like Count Basie. They're just certain people who make a contribution to a genre. And I just God just blessed me to be one of those dudes who made an oversized contribution, an outsized contribution to the culture. And it's like, even my first album cover, I had the Jordan sneakers on when he was a rookie. I was the first person with the Jordans on the radio album cover. Michael Jordan was a rookie when I had his sneakers on. Everybody was wearing Adidas and Pumas, bro. I put the Jordans on. He didn't even have no championships. He was just a rookie. I liked the sneakers. I thought.
Is that on the back?
Yes, 100%. Even that. So it's like I could take you down, like, but it's trippy, man, because I don't know how all of that shit happened. I couldn't tell you, bro. I can't sit here and try to take some kind of incredible credit for it and try to paint myself as I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because all I did and all of this stuff is follow my instincts.
Are you having the most fun now, or do you remember a moment where you were like, oh my God?
I'm always having fun.
Right.
I ain't never stopped having fun, bro.
What do you feel about the word legend?
I mean, it's cool as long as you don't try to put a period where there's a comma. No problem. Whatever you want. OG, legend. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Whatever, bro. You know what I mean?
You know what I've noticed too, El, is that I've never heard you just bitter about today or bitter about hip hop, or, you get a lot of accolades, but then there's other things that people don't even realize.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
That you could be like, I created this, and I was the first one to do this.
Well, I'm doing it in some interviews now, just because I'm gonna be really totally honest with you. The only reason I tell people these things now is just because they legitimately do not know.
Boom.
And they should know. So that they can understand my place in the hip hop pantheon. Mm-hmm. That's it. It ain't no ego. It's ego only to that extent. It ain't like I'm trying to be all that, or I ain't fronting on nobody. I'm not trying to say because I did this I'm better than you. I'm not going there with it. Because there's a lot of people who made incredible contributions. Cube has made amazing. Dre has made unbelievable contributions. Like I could go on and on with the dudes that I feel have made Run DMC, like huge Flash. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that I like to let people know now, because we're in this new era. We got this internet, and they need to know who did what, and we gotta write our narratives, because if we don't
That's
tell
true,
people,
bro.
how they gonna know?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? How they gonna know if I don't? So that's why, yes, I made up the gold, and yes, I had the Jordans on, and yes, the ice in the game, and yes, like these are Def Jam. Yes, yes.
It's crazy, man, how many people wanted to be. Like Def Jam was one of those labels that everybody wanted to be at.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to be. And you did what, 13 out of 14 albums?
Yeah, well, this is my 14th
with Def
album
Jam?
on Def Jam. Yes, I had one album, experimental album. I don't know if I was on high on crack or with meth or what I was on, but it just wasn't creatively what it could have been. The real answer is that I was separated from, I was doing a show. I was doing a TV show.
Gotcha.
And because I was doing that, I kind of unintentionally phoned it in. And I was making dumb mistakes creatively and doing things that weren't up to par. It was like playing with the basketball half full of air. You know what I'm saying? With your ankles not taped.
Right. And you knew it. Like, man, if I could just get through this.
Coach.
Yeah, if I could just get through this.
So, but yo, man, Def Jam, yeah, everybody wanted to be on it, and it was like, now to come full circle and for this to be the 40th anniversary, and for me to have a brand new album right now that's really impacting the culture, Proclivities, Sweetie, all this stuff, like to have that is like, it's pretty remarkable, man, and it all comes full circle to Def Jam.
Now, Force as an album.
Yeah.
That's one of those things, man, where it's very today, but it's LL Cool J. It's done right. And sometimes you get an album and you'll say like, man, they got like, I got 25 of them on there. And I'm like, man, all you need was like 12 or 13, 14,
You needed
Were you
6 on that
were you very conscious about going into Force and what that meant to you and what it meant to the culture? And was it a pressure to it?
I just want to show people what was possible. So here's the thing about pressure, right? And it makes diamonds or bust pipes. We know that. But here's the thing about it, man. In order to take the last shot, you got to be willing to look stupid, baby. You know what I'm saying, babe? You got to be willing to look stupid. You got to be willing to miss the last shot in order to take the last shot.
Gotcha.
You feel me? So, in order for me to show people what I believe is possible, that somebody who's been in the game for multi-years, over decades, can have a culturally impactful album, not just a bunch of quotables on Instagram, and ooh, you're really a great rapper. Impact, joint moving, circulating, vibes, energy. In order to show people that could be done, I had to be willing to look stupid. I could have went out and promoted and bust my ass and promoted this album and it came out and did nothing. I'd look ridiculous. But it would have just had to been like that, because I'm willing to go all out for what I believe in. And I believe in hip hop, and I believe that we can keep going. I remember I was in the car with DMC one time. He was on his 4th album, and he was like, yo, L, we're on our 4th album, so we'll definitely have our 9th album. And it clicked in my mind at that moment that this was a long-term game. DMC taught me that.
And you do it well, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
And I thank you for it, bro.
And I thank you.
Like,
and
man.
The Force, Frequencies of Real Creative Energy, is a lesson in what's possible for other artists. So I would take the view of, like when I said in 30 Decembers, I said, mind in the sky, but keep a street level view. Inspiration for the future dreams you will pursue. If I made it off the streets of Queens, so can you. So when you listen to the album, and when you look at what I'm doing, you got to look at your own life. Use it as a metaphor for your life. Don't look at it. Don't compare me to you. Don't compare my catalog to yours or my life to your life, whether you're working a job or whether you're driving an Uber
Right,
or
got you.
it don't matter. Just know that it can be greater later. Dreams don't have deadlines. Do your thing, and you can win.
I heard that, and man, Q-Tip showed his ass too.
Oh, he's
That
a bad
Q-Tip
boy.
on all the.
He's bad. He's an unbelievable, and he's a musician. That's the thing people don't realize. They think about, a lot of people think when you tell them you're doing a hip hop record, they think
he
you're just gonna be
studies
running
though.
around sampling everything and there's no real musicality. No, Tip, his arrangements, his composing, he's not only playing himself, but he's bringing other musicians in, putting together
Man.
arrangements, making sure that this thing really.
Great body of work, bro.
Appreciate
I
you, bro.
appreciate you, man.
Appreciate
and
you,
we
Big.
get it together. Thank you for your time too,
Thank
man.
you,
And
Big.
thank you for being off air with us,
Much
bro.
love. No doubt.
LL Cool J
Off
up
air,
in here.
baby.
Hello.
Success.